Okay, so today we're going to talk about measures of center. We got mean, median, mode, and these are terms I would guess most of you have heard before. And to summarize what they are, the mean is the average value. It's often referred to as the average. It's big here. I want you to consider it the balancing point. It's the balancing place of the data. If all the data has a weight to it, it's the place that it put in the middle. And so if I want how to calculate the mean, well, I take the total sum of all the values. Sum means I'm going to add them, and I divide it by the number of data points, which we usually call n. So sum divided by the total number. You have to add them up. Okay. The next one we have is median. And the median, what the median is, it's the middle number. Okay, it's the middle number. So when you arrange the numbers in ascending or descending order, you find the middle position. And so that's the median. This is the median here. It's also, if you're going to find that position, I use this formula here, n plus 1 divided by 2. That's the position of the middle number. And then finally, the last one is called a mode. And the mode is the one that is most frequent number. That's the mode. It's the one that happens most often. And these are three measures of center to find the center of our data set. And these are all statistics. Let's look at an example. So we have, these are the top 10 teams in the English Premier League as of January 12th, 2015. And we're going to look at the column that is goals against. We're looking at this column here. These are the number of goals that the teams have let into their net. And we're going to determine the mode, draw a quick dot plot, and describe the shape. I'm going to start off with the dot plot. And so the dot plot will come here, and I've got this number line set up. This is by 20, 22, 24, 26, and so on. And so I'm going to go 19 will be here, 19 and 20 and 15. I have to add 15 on, so that's 18, 16, 14. And so 15 will fit about here. 21 is here, 25, 29, another 25, a 27, another 25, and a 33. Okay, so here's the dot plot. Now, if I want to determine the mode, looking at these, I can quickly see that 25 is the largest one, so the mode is 25. It is most frequent. It happens the most often. Here is my dot plot below. And my shape, well, it looks fairly symmetric. That's how I would describe this as symmetric. The median. Now, I have 10 numbers. So to find the median, I need to find 10 plus 1 divided by 2, which is going to be 5.5, 11 over 2. So I want to find the 5.5 number, so halfway between number 5 and number 6. So if I start to count here, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these two are 5 and 6. And so the median has to be also 25. What is the total of all the goals against? So if we want to look at the total of all the goals scored against, I'm going to take this column here and add them all up. So 19 plus 20 plus 20, 15 plus 21, and so on. And when I do that, using my calculator for that, I know my total is going to be 239 when I add them up. This 239. How many teams are we considering? Well, I know there are 10 teams, so n equals 10. So if I want to find the mean, Well, if I want to find the mean, I'm looking for the mean of goals against. And the symbol for mean is a line up top. So mean, GA bar, we call that bar. And I take the total number of goals scored, which is 239, divided by the number of teams, n. And so we have 23.9 goals against on average. And so what does this value mean in context? Well, this value means on average there are 23.9 goals scored against these top 10 teams. Okay, let's try another example. So now we know the mean of 7 values is 25. I have 7 values. And 6 of the values are as follows. What is the 7th value? Well, to find the mean, I know I have to add up all these values plus some mystery value x and divide it by 7. And that will be 25. So what that means, if I say 24 plus 47 plus 34 plus 10 plus 22 plus 28. These are my 6 values plus x. If I divide that all by 7, that equals 25. So calculating that, so when I add up all these numbers here, I get 165 plus x over 7 is 25. And now I have to solve for x. What I can do is I can multiply both sides by 7. If I multiply this side by 7 and this side by 7, those 7's cancel, and I have 165 plus x equals, if I do that, I get 175. And so I know x is going to be 10 when I subtract 165. So that's the missing number. But before I move on, this value here, 175, that's an important number. The reason why that's important is this is the number that when I add up all 7 of these numbers, so 24, 47, 37, and so on, I get the total on the top. This whole top equals 175. That's what this is. And that calculation is 7, n is 7, 7 times the mean, 25. So if I go the mean times n, that's equal to the total number of points or scores or whatever it is. It's the total number. And so that's a really helpful calculation when we're dealing with averages or means. Let's try one more example here. Okay, so a teacher has 2 classes of IB/SL mathematics. The first class has 20 students and a mean score of 88 on the latest quiz. The second, so I have 20 students and the mean score is 88. I have another class of 15 students and the mean score of this one is 92. X bar is the mean. If the teacher combines the 2 classes, what is the overall mean? Well, I know I need to have the total sum divided by the total number of total number, and that will give me my new average. Well, if I think about the total number, I know in total I have 20 plus 15. I'm going to have 35 students in total. But what's the total number of points? Well, from this first class, I know that if I have 20 students and the average is 88, on average each student got 88 and there's 20 of them. So if I go 20 times 88, which I know is 1,000, 20 times 88 is equal to 1,760. This value is the total number of points that this first class here got on the quiz. That's the total number of points. So I'm going to replace this with 1,760. 1,760. Plus, if I consider the second class here, each person on average got 92. So if I go 15 times 92, and that value is 15 times 92, that's 1,380. This is the total points allotted from the second class. And so if I add these together, this is the total number of points in both classes. And so if I add them together, I end up with 3,140 divided by 35. And when I do that, I have 89.7. The average in both classes is 89.7, and that's the three significant figures. So I get this 1760 and the 1380 by multiplying n times the average, because that tells you the total points from this class. 20 times 88 is the total points from this class. Add them up, and this is the total points combined, divided by the total number of students, and I get 89.7.